Hey guys, welcome back for the price update of BTCUSD here on YouTube like every week. So I'm gonna start with the monthly time frame as usual, and actually let me show you the BLX chart here so we can see the whole history. So you can see I draw a line here, this curved line here is the average price, I mean more or less approximate, between tops and bottoms of previous markets. So the line goes kind of in the middle, it's like an average price here. And I wanted to show this because you see how during boom cycles, during bubbles, Bitcoin goes way higher than the average price. So it goes very, very overvalued. But usually at bottoms of bear markets, it goes also really undervalued. It goes below the line here. So according to this average, right now it's at the average price. So we could call it fair price. It's right now at fair price. Typically, it has to get really undervalued before finding a bottom here. Of course, it doesn't have to happen 100% of the times, but it's usually what happens here with Bitcoin. You can see in this bear market, it went well below the line. And in 2014, it also went well below the line. Maybe not as much in the first bubble here in 2013, so you know it's not impossible. We could be bouncing here. I have been pointing to the 20-month moving average. It's a very strong moving average, so it could actually hold here. It's not impossible, but typically it'll go very undervalued before finding bottom. So you need to have in consideration this possibility as well. And on the Coinbase chart, I'm going to be using the Coinbase chart from now on because, yeah, the Bitfinex chart, it's not very reliable with all this tether situation. So I'm going to be using the Coinbase. And yeah, guys, we have been watching the 20-month moving average in this time frame. The price continues to hold above this line. It went well below it, but, you know, it didn't close. It didn't close before the previous low, which is this longer candle here, or this one. Like both of them were very similar. The price, the bottom is 5,800. I have been saying if it trades below 5,800, then I would expect a breakdown. And if not, at least close a monthly candle below the 20-month moving average. But so far, we didn't have neither of these two. But it didn't have a bounce yet either. So as I have been saying, the price is getting tight in between the 20-month moving average and the 20-week moving average, which is right at the high of this last candle. It keeps getting rejected back down. So it's getting, you know, supported at the 20-month moving average, pushing the price up, and then rejected at the 20-week moving average, pushing the price down. So this range is getting tighter and tighter. Right now, the 20-month moving average, it's at 6,300, more or less. And the 20-week moving average is at 6,800. So the range is getting tighter, and it'll continue to get tight the longer it goes, because the 20-month moving average is uptrending and the 20-week moving average is still downtrending. So it's getting tight here. On the weekly, we can see this giant triangle that everybody's been watching. So we had a fake out here, but nothing really, it's not to take it too serious because it was all due to this tether, you know, situation. So I'm not going to take this very, very serious. The price continues to get rejected at resistance, continues to get support at support. So I got here the two targets, and these two targets actually are for a smaller triangle, which would be from this high right here till the end of the triangle, because it had already 3 touches on resistance, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 1 time, 2 times, 3 times at support. So this is a perfect triangle. So if we go from the high to the low, you get these targets in the downside. Of course, the bias is in the downside. You see it here. I'm just going to delete this line now. But the target in the downside is 3,400. You can see here the prices in blue, following the blue lines. And if it does break in the upside, we can apply the same target actually. So it would be 8,600 more or less, which makes sense as well, because it would be the 50 period moving average here, the 50-week moving average. That would be really strong resistance. It would reject the price down, and it's also resistance from this significant previous highs exactly at the same level, 8,600. So if it does break in the upside, I would have a target of 8,600, and if it does break in the downside, 3,400 more or less. I have been saying for the past several weeks now, maybe even months, that I wasn't expecting anything crazy to happen. I was like, be patient, this will continue to consolidate most likely. It's still getting tight, but the end of this triangle, it's not until the end of October. So, don't expect anything crazy. I have been saying this for a very long time. And now, guys, I'm starting to, finally, I have something different to say. It's expect a break anytime now, because this is getting ridiculous low. I have been saying to wait until the end of this month, which is the end of this triangle. We're getting very, very close. So today is the 18th of October. We're getting close to the end of the month and the end of this triangle. I would say maybe in 1 week or less, I would expect this thing to break vertical. On the daily, exactly the same thing I point out on the weekly, which is this smaller triangle, and the targets I just said it before here. So 3,400 on the downside, 4,860 on the upside. And yes, again, guys, this is getting really, really, really tight. Let me zoom in here. So I'd say, yeah, 1 week. I mean, if it takes more than 1 week, it's gonna be almost like at the very, very end of the triangle. I don't think it'll get to the exact end. It says here the end is the 9th of November. I'd say the last week of October, this thing, it's gonna need to decide. I think it's gonna break anytime now. I think for my next week update here on YouTube on Wednesday, I think before Wednesday, before my next video, I think this would have broke out already. So yeah, nothing really more to say about this. I have here the 20-week moving average and the 20-week moving average and the 20-month moving average. For some reason, I put a D here. This is a 20-month moving average. So yeah, you can see the range is getting very, very tight between 6.4 and 6.8 here. So yeah, one of these two is gonna have to give. On the 4 hours, guys, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to do here. There's just nothing to do here. We just had sideways action, so it's impossible to trade this. I have a hard time believing anyone is making money trading Bitcoin right now, because there's simply no opportunity here. Unless you set your trade with a wide stop loss and just wait for the break, because other than that, now we really don't have any opportunity here to trade anything. It's just absolutely sideways action. You need to be patient here and wait for the break. And I'm expecting capitulation because that's 80% of the times bear markets end with capitulation. Of course, 80% it's not 100%, but you need to go with the probabilities. And if it happens 80% of the times, it's more probable that it'll break down eventually, or even if it breaks in the upside, I'd expect capitulation sometime after that. I'm waiting for that. But because it's 80%, it's not 100%, then you need to be ready for either outcome, right? So if you think it's gonna go down, you can, open your short, but have a stop loss in play. And if you think it's gonna break in the upside, then have your long and use a stop loss, have your stop loss in place. But yeah, we're getting very close from here. This is not right now this is not for short-term trading or day trading. There's simply no opportunities here to do that. We just need to wait now for the big breakout, which I expect to happen in 1 week or less. And on the hourly, same thing, guys. This is just sideways action. I mean, there's absolutely no opportunity for short-term trading or day trading here. There's nothing. I'm not gonna lie here. There's just no opportunity to do anything in the short term or day trade. Just be ready for the big break now, and hopefully it'll happen before my next video on Wednesday. And if not, maybe I will be able to catch it live and make the video when it's happening. Of course, there's also the possibility that there won't be a break and the price will continue to go sideways even when it gets outside the triangle. That happens as well. I mean, nothing is impossible. If that was the case, then I will take it from there and share my analysis and my views then. But I think it's very probable this thing is going to break vertical one way or the other, because it's getting just ridiculous tight right now. Guys, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.